are. Hi.
Hi, how you doing? God damn it, respect my authority!
Ed's been on a Cartman kick as of the last half hour.
Yeah!
I can't imagine just speaking like that like your entire life. I mean, your vocal cords had to be like shot by now. Like, if you talk like that.
I could agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little strenuous, but if you just stretch the back,
God damn it, respect my authority!
it's really up here in the back. It's not so much here in the throat.
So it's more so from the. Okay, all right. I'm not even gonna get there. I'm not even gonna go there. Anywho, it is Sunday, October 12th, 2025. We are at episode 10 of the Unfiltered podcast. Are you surprised that we made it this far, Ed?
I am. We've put up with this for 10 episodes. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah. What is it? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. My brain is just slipping. Okay. 10 episodes, 3 guests, us shooting the breeze every week, 2 p.m.
You
on
held
Sundays.
it up by yourself mostly.
Me? Oh, well.
Well, last week you did it for an hour, didn't you?
Yeah, I did it for about an hour, and then you came in towards the end, and you played, like, essentially Bill from the Red Green Show. You ever seen the Red Green Show?
No, I haven't. What's that about?
Okay, all right. So the fill you in, so I'm going to bring down the music just a little bit more. So just give some context. The Red Green Show is a Canadian production. It's put on by this guy. He has literally red and green flannel, suspenders, red and green, and so he's called Red Green. And it's almost like a variety show of of comedy skits, and it's like family friendly, so it's not too bad, unless you want to have like some other connotations for keep your stick on the ice. But I knew Red Green because he would come in every Saturday night or so, and he would that was the highlight of my Sunday night because I was not going to watch Lawrence Welk for the life of me. Even though like my grandfather loved Lawrence Welk, I was not about it. I was like, man, this is so lame. So I was like, well, but I grew up on Red Green, so like I'm very nostalgic when it comes to like seeing Red Green skits. So yeah, but he's Canadian.
Red Green.
Red Green, yeah. Actually, I was gonna be like, okay, well, we could probably put on maybe some Red Green. I don't know. Probably not because it's copyrighted. But.
Did you ever watch the Carol Burnett show when you were younger?
No, I did not. I was too young for the what was it? The Tracy something show that's where the Simpsons got their start.
Yeah, no, Carol Burnett, she played a character named Eunice on Mama's Family, but before Mama's Family came along, they had the Carol Burnett show. And so that's where Mama came from. But the point is that the comedy skits they did in there, they were live. So when somebody really went over the top to make everybody laugh, they had to. They filmed all this with the characters just sitting there trying not to lose it.
Yeah, they just try not to lose it.
And I remember there's one time somebody said something, and they just, for about 3 minutes, they all didn't know what the hell to do because they're like, wait a minute, we got to get back in character. But this was so freaking off-putting, they couldn't.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, they're having to corpse is basically keeping a straight face. You got to corpse it.
I laugh about our interactions because I think you're not too much younger than me, but there's enough of a difference there to where I can pull from like this stuff way back in the 80s, and
I would get the reference.
You'd get the reference, or maybe you don't. But the funny part about it is that I'm showing my age like every single stream we do. I'm like, God, I am old. I'm like,
oh man, Ed, you're becoming an old head.
Shit, I'm only 44 years old, but that's enough of a difference from
44,
today's
and I'm
generation to be able
38.
to go that far back. 38, yeah, 6 years, that
38.
makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. It really does, because like it's the difference between like an early millennial, like, you know, super early millennial, maybe late Gen X, to
Don't call
like,
me a millennial. Fuck you.
okay, late Gen X compared to an early millennial like myself. Early millennial. Keep in mind, yeah, early millennial. But anywho, so this, I think the sun's actually starting to come out, at least from what I'm seeing in my window.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So like there was a little bit of rain, but I don't think it stopped the Cottonwood Fair from really enjoying
No,
a really good weekend. So I mean, you went there yesterday. I mean, talk
I
about it a little
did.
bit. What was it like?
Oh, I did. My wife and I, she, I don't know. I guess you would consider she kind of dressed up like a barmaid.
Okay.
She had a white top on, a little. It was a nice brand new skirt from Kato, which was fun. Kato.
Oh yeah,
And what
Kato.
was funny is that it looked old enough to be able to go back that far.
Okay.
And then she had on a corset, and then we tied a Halloween spiderweb looky kind of thing onto her as a sash, and a couple of drawstring bags. And I wore I bought some of my stuff off of a website called Viking Warrior,
Oh,
and
cool.
so it was more like a Viking tunic. I didn't want that one, but that's like the only one that had my size.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more of like a ranger medieval kind of white shirt with the frills or the lace tops. Had these cloaks that I got from Nightweave. Those are nice ass cloaks. They're expensive, but they are good cloaks.
Yeah.
Like me and my son had one, and bought a belt and pendant with some Norse symbols. But we went dressed there, and all day long they had, they had vendors, they had shows. The queen herself put on a show for a little while. She sang some, like the landslide by Stevie Nicks. She instead of like some words, she used like doth thou and stuff in the song. It was pretty cool,
Yeah.
and sung in that old fashioned voice.
She
And
was speaking in Old English, like King James version.
old English, exactly.
King James
And
version of the
then
Bible.
King's drink. Well, but no. But then there was also this group there. They're called Cirque La Vie. You can find them on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they said that they traveled about 10 hours to get here. But they put on a good show for as simple as it was. It was real windy, so they kept going on about that and their tricks. And
welcome
God,
to the Texas
welcome to
Panhandle.
Amarillo. Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the Texas Panhandle.
But just freaking incredible, man. Everybody, a lot of people came dressed up, and there was, I got myself a turkey leg. It was $15, but I had to. The damn thing was about
That wide?
at the largest part. It was about that wide and
Okay.
about that long.
Okay.
And
It's a
I
big-ass
enjoyed
turkey
the
leg.
hell out of that. Yeah, and here I am, eating over the little plate that they gave you, and got a napkin. I brought the whole 9 yards. I brought sanitizer wipes, napkins, and they had this nice little boat that they give you to put the food in, and I'm sitting there eating over this thing the whole time because I did not want to get this stuff over my costume. I was like, no, this shit's expensive. Here's my wife over here. She's eating a basically it was just kind of like a kielbasa on a stick.
Yeah.
And she's eating that. Well, unfortunately, she got down to the last bite and it started going like that.
Oh,
so she got grease stains on her top, and she got some. She bought some alcohol, so she put it on the table, and the wind blew off the empty cup, and it had some stuff in it still.
Oh.
So it got on her skirt. So immediately we came home and we're washing that stuff to get it out of there. I'm like, we did way too much to try to get these things. It was fun. I loved it, and I want to go back again. If I got time, I might go today. But it's something to get out of the normal daily grind and to go be with other like-minded people, buy crafts. I bought several things. Just had a blast, man. It was fun.
Was King Richard a pretty cool guy?
I don't know.
You didn't get to meet King Richard?
Well, I saw him, and I saw Queen Elizabeth. They both rode in on horses with
that's
the
cool.
people who paid.
They came in on horses.
They paid for the VIP treatment. So basically, they paid $100 to go have a it was at 6:00 when basically things were shutting down to go be with the king and queen, have a dinner provided to them, have another more, I guess, extensive show by Cirque Levy and other performers. So, just like the King's Court, that's what they did. And it was just phenomenal. You could look over there and see how they had it set up. There was chairs, tables, little nice decorations on the table. But man, next year I'm going back. Unfortunately, though, I was looking through Reddit, and there was apparently part of the staff from the first 2 years kind of like had a fallen out. So they're sitting there going, well, because of this and that, we're leaving, and we put all of our work into us. But I didn't want to get into that hype. I'm like, who cares? If they're still able to make the show good and make the fair fun and build it up, then who cares about the drama in it? Just keep going.
Yeah. It's fun. The Renaissance Fair is like, it kind of makes you really think. It's like, would people be interested in like steampunk? Like if they did a steampunk type of festival, or, for me, Amarillo is like a Western town. What if you did like an Old West concept that would be like a Renaissance Fair, but it's Old West? And when I was growing up in Iowa, there was a larger town nearby, and they were known for their replica frontier fort. It used to be a frontier town, and it had a fort and the barracks and everything, and they replicated it back in probably the 60s or 70s or whatever. Made it into a museum, and then they reconstructed all these Old West buildings, so it looked like you were stepping back into the Old West. And during the big city festival, which is aptly called Frontier Days, there would be skits involving like cowboys and like guns and garter belts is what it was called.
Wow. Yeah,
and they would do these skits, and you can interact with them. I think it'd be a little more. It'd be in larger capacity, say like in Deadwood. Like Deadwood has those type of people wandering around, and they were really super nice. There was a guy that like kind of cosplayed as like Wild Bill Hickok, and he would put on shows like inside of a saloon. And Deadwood's like a tourist spot where you can like interact with the Old West. And I was like, well, I don't see that enough, like save for like Deadwood and Fort Dodge, and Dodge City would probably be the closest one. Right. So that kind of begs the question: what kind of interest would there be? Because we're gonna end up looking at the Old West, as the Wild West, as something like the Renaissance Fair. It's like, yeah. But then again, I think it'd be kind of cool. Like, you can bring on some. You can give some, Lahota or, native people some work, and you can, and pay them well, compensate them well. And, it'd be like interacting with like, natives, and I don't know, maybe like that. And then you have cowboys, but they all coexist. And, it's not like, oh man, it's like, Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, where you have, constant fights between cowboys and Indians, but maybe you do something where they coexist, and you treat it like kind of like an old school trading post where everybody meets up, they do a trade, and then every now and then they do a little bit of Wild West stuff, but it's just like, the sheriff's going after the outlaws, and then, teaming up with natives or something, or you can meet like a shaman. And the shaman will do some like, do some cool stuff, it's all bells and whistles, but I don't know. You don't want to get too stereotypical, but
I gotta, and I know I gotta jump in right there. You use the term shaman. Shaman is more of a, in my opinion, more of a made up European term.
Oh, sure. So like a medicine man.
Medicine man, medicine woman.
Medicine woman would probably be a better term.
Yeah, the people hold high respect for those people because of the prayers and the items, sacred items used in their ceremony and things like that. So we look at shaman as some sort of Indian thing, when we could do a whole lesson on this. But the point is that there's certain terms that have been coined now, and it's like, no, we don't do that. Yeah. And me being Native American myself, enrolled in being a championship grass dancer, a traditional dancer, a native singer. I've done all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And so growing up in my culture, it was like, you'd see people come in and start talking that way. And you're like, get the hell out. Cause we're not putting up with this.
Sure. Okay. All right. So like, I'm kind of thinking, like it would be like, maybe we can, maybe you can drift it to more of like native education, like to really educate people about the first peoples, the indigenous folks. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. And then you could do like the temporary lodges or teepees or whatever. You don't want to be too stereotypical, but you could make it to where it's like an old school trading post. Yeah. And then that would be really cool.
I'm right there with you on that. That would be beautiful.
That would be cool. Would be incredible. then you'd have people like that would represent different nations or whatever. And they would educate people on, hey, this is our way of life, or this is what we've learned through archaeology or oral tradition, whatever. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm two major concerns, only because I know how people behave.
Sure.
Is that number one, like when you go to a Renaissance fair and you take a weapon, like a real sword or a axe.
Oh yeah, they're like, no.
Dagger. Well, no, they'll let them in, but they have to be what's called peace tied, which means a zip cord around something that keeps you from drawing it out of that sheath.
Oh yeah.
Not only for your safety, but for the public safety. So you come here to Texas where you got all these people who, my Second Amendment rights. You're like, dude, first of all, hopefully you're not even bringing guns, but you're going to have some people that will try. And it's like, first of all, those have to, number one, you got to have a permit.
Yep.
Then it needs to be tied off so you can't draw the gun, and it should be empty. I mean, I have a lot of safety concerns when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And
I get that.
Then have you seen little children run around going, woo, 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 that crap?
Oh yeah. Well, that's part of the lack of education, or even the miseducation of younger folks to like, kind of how native folks actually, kind of worked. It's not so much the, hey, we're gonna jump on our horse bareback, wear war paint, and count coup. It's more like,
right.
Hey, there's other aspects of that life where, it's like, and I think there needs to be more indigenous education.
Agreed.
Yeah, like, because I mean there were nations before the United States came around, and interacting with that back in the Black Hills, West River, what have you. Like, it just gives you don't want to put these folks on a pedestal. They don't want to be on a pedestal. The biggest thing is, hey, I feel like there needs to be more education about it. You know where I'm coming from on that? Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's that stuff. And one thing that I know about our culture is that when people screw up, there's not a public flogging. Our people don't operate that way.
Mm-hmm.
They take the person in question or the child off to the side in private and educate them, and sometimes harshly. It's like, it's a good firm grab to the arm, like, you come with me, child, even an adult. And they're sitting there going, you can't act this way, or you got to, you all of a sudden you find out what it really means to be humble. Because when you offend another person, or when you offend an elder, or when you step out of line in certain respect, there is a protocol that says, we don't put up with this. And that's why I'm worried about these children, all run around being stereotypical, because, nobody's going to put up with that. They're going to sit there and go, stop it. And, then how parents are these days. How dare you talk to my child? It's like, you need to teach your child that not everything they see on TV is real. Like, even
have you noticed though that, like, there's not really, okay, all right, a good example is like the old Merry Melodies or the Looney Tunes cartoon with Injun Joe.
Yeah.
Where, like, but you got to give Injun Joe his credit though. He was a badass. And yeah, he was a badass, and he would catch like a whole host of bullets. he put him in his mouth, he'd chew him up, and he'd turn it into like a cannonball or a mortar.
Right.
that was so good. But also at the same time, you don't see as much media revolving around the Old West.
Either way.
Yeah, either way. I mean, now it's a little more. If you watch the movies nowadays, like, oh gosh, what's one that's really the Martin Scorsese film, Killers of the Flower Moon? Is that the name of the film?
I guess I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it. It's directed by Scorsese. Really really good. Really cool. Really cool movie. Really puts layers onto I think it's the Osage, because they stumbled upon they basically stumbled upon oil in Oklahoma. And they all got rich and stupid rich at
tribal
that.
land.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So but you don't see nowadays, even Yellowstone, they treat the natives with a lot of respect. The Comanche are looked at they're looked at as really cool, but also one of the characters on Yellowstone, or 1883 that's what it's called. She fell in love with a Comanche, and then they went north because they wanted to get to Oregon. And then she ended up getting shot with an arrow from the Lahota, and then she died, and that's how they ended up in Montana. That's what kicks off the whole Yellowstone thing. Is that's where they ended up. Is they went from Texas, they went from Fort Worth all the way up to Montana,
all the way up to there.
And the Crow allowed her to be buried on their land and allowed them to settle on their land. So, which was
a real beautiful sentiment.
It was a really beautiful moment. And even then, they portrayed the Lahota as hey, these people got attacked, and they saw the first white people they saw, and they went after them. And and they felt bad. They came back later, and they were because what they would do is they'd dip the tips of their arrows into manure, so you'd get
snake venom or something.
So it was biological biological warfare back then. And but they ended up coming back, and there was a misunderstanding, and the Lahota were oh, she behaved just like a Comanche, and it was a really cool moment. They felt bad because they back then they didn't have antibiotics, so I mean she was dead to rights. And that sucks, but I mean I think each of Taylor Sheridan's shows treats natives with respect. Maybe there's a little bit of stereotypes or typecasting, or even some pre-notions, but I think he's at least partially native or partially indigenous, so that's why I was oh yeah, okay, so he portrays them with a lot of respect and reverence, and we need more of that. I think that we need more of that. Anywho,
I was gonna say, back in the day when Val Kilmer, he did a movie called Thunderheart, and then Kevin Costner brought Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
Those movies were done in such a way to show the real world. This is how these people live. And, again, we need more of that, because you still have people to this day. I see it on Facebook all the time, sitting there going, oh, Indians do little blah, 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 getting offended by, who somebody just brought back Columbus Day. I won't say who, but, it just for conflict. And I'm going, no, you were stepping in stepping in the right direction to let these indigenous people know how much they were valued. And I understand that this country just did their thing and said, oh, you're on our land, move off, and blah, blah, blah. You can have this little plot of land. And it was horrible. They took their homes. But, now we're turning around saying, oh, well, we need to change the Redskins back to the Redskins. And it's stop it. We have made so much progression, and then now we're wanting to undo it because of silliness and uneducation. And it's just,
it's a lack of it's a lack of education, and there's miseducation,
lack of respect. Yeah.
And I mean, I know like some natives, they didn't really care. Like they didn't care either which way about the Washington football team. Well, I mean the Washington now known as the Washington Commanders, but
Yeah.
I mean I always
But back
thought
then,
like
yeah,
I
the
always thought a
Redskins,
really cool name to to acknowledge like because there's some groups that are like, well, why did you get rid of all of our imagery? That's what something we fought hard for, or that was a tribute to a coach who was also native.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just giving the flip side of it.
No, yeah.
And then I mean, it's kind of split down the middle. There's like people that were like, well, this is a source of pride for us, and then other people are like, well, this is derogatory. This is like, calling this is like calling people, renaming a team from like the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Caucasians, but
Let's see how they like that. Let's do that. How do you like it?
I mean, it wouldn't bother me one bit, but
it would be proving a point though. Yeah.
Right. It's proving a point. And I like that Cleveland moved to the Guardians. It makes sense, and it still rolls off the tongue just like the Cleveland Indians. There's also the Washington Commanders, but I thought a really cool name to really touch on the native aspect, to give a nod to your native imagery while not having something as derogatory as Redskins would have been like the Potomacs. That would have been kind of cool. And that would have been named after a tribe. You just have to ask for permission and ask for the blessing. You could do like something really cool. So like this reminds me of like West Texas High when Stinnett came together with like Phillips and Clemens. And they were like, well, we need to come up with a mascot. So they came up with Comanches, but they asked the Comanche Nation first. They said, hey, can we use the name of your people? And they said yes. And they brought down these like a war drum and a few other sacred items, and they blessed it. So like as long as you ask, most of the time your tribes, as long as they have like
permission.
As long as you have permission, or at least I would say at best the blessing, like hey, this is fine, and also let's put together a really nice ceremony, and we'll christen you, like we'll include you and do it in a very tasteful manner. I think it's fine. Look no further than Florida State and the Seminole tribe, because they realize that hey, Florida State brings a lot of really good. Not only is it a really prestigious university, but it really.
I am still a singer and a drummer.
Yeah.
And a head singer, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And so the term, I don't know where that comes from, the term war drum, but the drum itself is held with a lot more reverence.
And sure. Yeah. I was trying to find like a really good, like I was like I don't think it's a war drum, but there's like a peace pipe and stuff like that. Yeah.
There's not a peace pipe.
There's not peace pipes. Peace pipes.
All these
just pipes.
All these terms have been coined from Caucasian culture, and so
white people.
I'm looking at something here on it, and I agree with this. Says the drum is the heartbeat of the nation, mm-hmm. the people, and it carries the heartbeat of Mother Earth and calls for the spirits and nations together. I was taught to believe that ever since I was 11 years old when I first started singing. I was taught that. It was drilled in my head that this is for the people, for bringing them together. Now, we did have war mother songs. We did have some of that. And so there was a lot of songs too, though. When you translate them, a lot of them dealt with dancing and being happy, or one of my favorite songs are horse thieving songs.
Oh yeah,
because they get into they get fast and they get really using words, a bunch of melody. I love them, and the one I was taught was done in Lakota, and it was just really nice. I hold a repertoire, and there's people that's got hundreds of songs in their repertoire. I hold about 53 in my head, and so I'm way behind, but I know enough to come and do a nice powwow for the weekend and have a good time. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah.
No,
Sorry,
that was good. I learned something today. So
war drum and peace pipe always really kind of my skin when people say that.
It's like nails on a chalkboard. I get you.
Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, cool. Like, you get that little little gif of the little stars. Like, the more you know.
Yeah, the more you know.
Yeah, way back in the day. Dun,
Well, I know where that
dun.
came from too, because like when you were watching, Injun Joe cartoons and things with Bugs Bunny and stuff like that, they, bum, 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 and like you hear the war drums in the distance, and you're like, to me, it's stupid Europeans. I'm like, come on, knock it off.
Damn white people, they ruin everything.
Well, and that's the thing. They think they always hold ownership. They were the ones that brought over the term of ownership. And so maybe Native
Also, white people brought over scalping.
Yes, absolutely. They started that.
Yep.
The French fur traders, the ones that went out and got beaver skins and skins from bears and deer. Well, they were told, oh, well, you can get this money for a Native American, scalp. And so when the Native Americans like, oh, you want to do that to our people? We're going to start doing it back.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yep.
Absolutely. The movie Black Robe and Last of the Mohicans especially show those actions being done by Native Americans to the white people, but the white people are the ones that started it, and the French.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, we can spend an entire day on this.
Yeah, damn white people. I know. We can go on. Anywho, but yeah, I mean, we got off on a wild tangent right there, but
hey, it's kept it interesting and we're talking.
Yeah, it's all absolutely. Yeah, and so Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101 had their October Slam. I heard it was a really good show. Rick might pop on and confirm or deny whether it was a good show. But I really think it was really. I thought it was really good. I think I saw something that it was really good. So fantastic. Kudos to a good show. They had a good crowd. Show up, and who can't? I mean, you absolutely can't beat like going and watching pro wrestling at a brewery. I mean, that's just cool. So.
Well, you guys were at the back room. What's that place called? The back room?
Oh, Jake's back room. Yeah, for Squirt Circle.
Yeah, there was alcohol there too. Hey.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like custom brews, and I mean, like you get to check out their like custom stuff that's locally brewed and all this other stuff. So I mean, I think it's fine. But that's fine.
Absolutely, it is. The one thing he's got since we were talking about Native Americans, who is that guy? The Great Spirit. What's his name?
The Great Spirit.
That wrestler who portrays in my term, a white Indian. Who is that?
Oh, I mean, there's Chief Wahoo McDaniel. That was way back.
He was at Jake's back room.
Oh, Eloevo,
the Great Spirit. Is that what they call him?
I think so.
Yeah, he did something. And he looked up and he goes, and I'm like.
Oh,
down. I'm like, come on. I'm like, okay. I know.
So he needs education classes. He needs native education classes.
No offense, but I think the producer needs education on that one. I'm just saying. I know you can't placate to everybody, and he's playing a persona. I get that.
Yeah.
However, when you look back to days like Tatanka from the WWF,
oh yeah,
I held more respect for him the way he did things because I don't think he always went up. And I'm like,
Chris Youngblood would do that all the time too.
Yeah,
he would do that.
Oh, this is what Indians are about, and it's like, go fucking yourself.
yeah. I think like I don't think Kyle Hawk did that as bad or whatever, but I remember the late Chris Youngblood used to do that, and I always got along with Chris. I mean, there were some things that I didn't see eye to eye on, but I mean, I thought he was fine. He was all right. Save for maybe the doing this gimmick, but
the hand woo woo shit.
Yeah, the woo woo woo.
Now, when you do go to a powwow, men when they're dancing, and I can make there's just these sound effects, and they're not really sound effects. It's their utterances of excitement and adding to. But women, they'll do what's called Lulu, and so their tongue is going.
Oh,
like
yep. I've seen that.
That is real. And
Yeah.
men could do a variation of that. It's not like but
yeah,
that,
yeah.
I respect that because that's real.
Okay.
But
nothing pisses off Ed more than the. But no, like I mean, I heard those type of things like I've heard those type of things like at the Lakota Nation Invitational and.
Those sounds.
Yeah. So I think that's fine. I mean, I'd rather be as authentic as I could if I had to.
Be a wrestler.
If I had to, cosplay as a native. So yeah.
I would hope that El Nuevo and other people would, get educated so that they don't, number one, seem stupid, and then number two.
So like when they're really, really doing it in front of like a native audience, they're not insulting the audience, right?
Exactly. And I know that me and maybe 5 other people there were probably native, or even maybe I was the only enrolled native there, because that's not a real common thing, even for me having such a thin bloodline. But I am enrolled with the Hidatsa Nation in North Dakota, 3 affiliated tribes.
Yeah.
And so knowing what I know and been educated, I was sitting there like, no, I was disgusted by that.
Oh, yeah. Got to do it the right way. Anywho, let me move on to something else real quick.
Sure.
It was really a really cool event. So I was in Sunray. It was kind of a last minute type of thing. It's like because on August 3rd, Sunray had like a big windstorm. It damaged a lot of homes. They had a straight line wind. I mean, it wasn't so much a tornado; it was a straight line wind. Went through, damaged some homes. Really devastated their home stadium.
Right.
Like the press box was completely obliterated. There was the home bleachers and the visitor bleachers were completely. They were pretty much destroyed. You couldn't save them. I mean, you could save some of them, but extensive damage would probably be the best term for it. The Sunray football team was on the road 4 out of 5 weeks. Luckily, that was because of the schedule to start off the season, and one of those games was actually in Stinnett, the aforementioned West Texas High, about the Comanche. And actually this last Friday, Sunray got to return home. They ended up like having this, and what they did is they found out about this contest from T-Mobile called, it is Friday Night 5G Lights. It is it's a really cool, really cool program. And I'll put the link. I'll put the link in the chat real quick.
While you're doing that, real quick question. I'm noticing our cameras are kind of like lightly blinking. They're not fading out, but they're blinking out. Are we okay?
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, I'm still seeing we're streaming, so we should be fine. Okay. But I just put the link in the chat. T-Mobile was putting together this thing, and Sunray was like, hey, what, we'll go and we're going to shoot for this grand prize, which is $1 million for facility upgrades. And the cool thing is you can vote once a day, and the voting period is open. And the cool thing is Sunray got in past the first stage, they're top 25, and now they're currently 5th in the rankings. And I just gave and then you just scroll down a little bit and you vote for Sunray, and hopefully we could put them over the top. So I've been helping spread the word. But yeah, like it's a $1 million grand prize. They already received $25,000. They had new stadium lights put in last Tuesday. So they were actually able to have a home game, which was really cool. And it was magenta themed off of T-Mobile. And so like both the home and the away team were wearing magenta. There was, on the midfield logo is usually gold. They changed it to magenta, like they did magenta smoke whenever the home team scored. They had like thunder sticks and signs and foam fingers that were all magenta. So it was a really cool thing. So, but yeah, like the voting is until October 24th. So I'm just helping spread the word. And you can do it for free. It doesn't cost anything.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Really cool cause. Really cool cause. I was able to go. That was a really special event. Really, really cool. So I had to say something really fun about that. I think another funny thing is our good friend Cyrax. Oh man, mute that piss money, you're gonna get it! Mute that piss money! I'm gonna get you William Glory Hole if it's a that thing I do! How dare you guys spend 7 years trying to protect my friends and my family and my non-existent fiance and my unborn goblin baby. Let me give you an example real quick. So like I got just the right video because Cyrax is just a very deplorable human being, and I know I can't stop stressing out about it. So we're gonna go over here.
I know the feeling about certain topics.
Yeah, and this is what it is. So look at this guy. Like, hold on. He's got like he's just like he's like a cryptid. Like he's got a skullet, and he's got this really weird beard going on. I mean, like I could grow a beard better than this, and like he's got no shoulders because he was a preemie, and like his like I mean, but please don't sympathize with the goblin, mostly because he's very deplorable. He's messaged minors on the internet and got caught doing it. So that's why we all make fun of him. He just needs to get off the internet. But anywho, back to the video. Okay, so he's like very delusional. He thinks like he's this big rapper. He thinks like he's this big rock star, and he's just a sad, lonely little man in his grandma's attic in Akron, Ohio. And that's a very scary image right there. And I'll give you an update on him too. I'm just doing this video as just kind of an example. Yeah, he wears like these Naruto shirts that you can get at Walmart and stuff like that. But he's trying to do like some really weird karaoke where he's singing over like the song. So something wrong happens.
Hold on, y'all.
He leaves the microphone on. It's so good.
What the fuck is going on?
Listen for it.
Oh, God. All over the place.
Okay, all right. So I'll give you context for this. So
Did he say hi, Mom?
no. Okay, so he's doing his little karaoke.
I'm sorry, we're about 20 seconds behind the recording on Vine,
we
so I was trying to listen.
we are. So I'm gonna give you some context here.
Yeah.
So,
what did he say when he went to the door?
Okay, he said, "What the fuck is going on?" Like as he's skittering out the door, and he's like, and then in an auto tune, perfect auto tune, because he has to auto tune himself because he sounds like utter garbage when he tries to sing. He's like, "Oh God," and then he runs downstairs and he's like, "You mom," because he calls his grandma mom because his real mom's dead. But that's a rabbit hole we'll go down another day. He's like, "Mom," and she's like, "What?" "I got diarrhea all over the place." "Oh, It did. I mean, it cuts out.
Wait, that happened while he was on stream?
Yes, he had diarrhea.
Serves his ass right.
He had diarrhea.
Serves his ass right.
Yeah, and well, the problem is he stuffs things up his bum that you shouldn't be stuffing up your bum. I mean, yeah. I'll show you the Music Biz Marty fight sometime. That one's gold.
Screw this guy. You know?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This one's it. Let's watch this real quick.
Yeah, like he was.
Okay, so for context, Music Biz Marty, who passed away earlier this year, like his funeral got on, like was live streamed and everything. He lived in Chicago, and he decided, I'm gonna really mess with this guy. So he'd play pranks on Cyrax and really mess with Cyrax quite a bit. And he ended up renting an Airbnb in Akron. And Cyrax is just livid. He is beside himself. And so, like, this is like a few blocks away. And, you know, like, he's threatened to fight Marty. And, but yeah, here it is.
Look.
See, he sees Cyrax coming down the way. I can almost like do the vocalizations verbatim. Here he comes.
Come on by, buddy boy.
Who am I, buddy boy?
Come on by, Cyrax.
He shows up like a cryptid.
Come on by.
There he is.
Come on.
I'm still waiting to catch up in the video. Give me a second.
Okay, we'll stop right there. I'll let you get caught up. But yeah, like he just appears just out of nowhere like a cryptid. Like, and he figures I'm gonna fight somebody that's about 3 times my size because Cyrax is like 4 foot nothing.
Okay, he's just now walking up to him in my
video.
video.
He's just walking up to him, and and then they kind of grapple, kind of like pro wrestling, but yeah, like here's all this going on.
Stupid motherfucker. Why do you leave me alone?
Is that somebody's ass that I see stick up in the air under the red shirt?
That's Marty. That was Marty's bum. Yeah. Okay. All right. Love you. Please.
Give it, motherfucker. Leave me alone, boy.
Why won't you leave me alone, boy? Why won't you learn? Love you.
So this guy, this idiot Cyrax, walks up to his house.
Walks up to his troll's house and literally starts the fight.
There's something really stupid about thinking you could do that and it'd be okay.
Yeah, it's not very smart. And
no.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have simply met him with a gun and said, "You know what? You're done." That would have been the end of it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I don't think Ohio has like the Texas law, like the castle law, like you would with Texas. But yeah, it's so good. Who's the king?
They recognize the castle doctrine.
Yeah. Who's the king?
You
you are. Good. Now run away now and shut the fuck up. Here we go.
Shut the fuck up. Fine.
Fine.
You
win. You win.
You win. Please let me go. I'm begging you. Please. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he could have ended him right there. That's stupid to do that.
Yeah. And there he goes, runs away.
Bitch. So they're grappling on the ground behind the little King of Akron thing, and then all of a sudden he runs off.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me go. I can hear him. Please.
Please. I'm begging of you, please. Please. Little bitch. Ah!
Wow.
Ah! And then he goes on stream later and he's like, "Me the best, Marty. I fought you like a man. I stood tall. But I will admit you almost killed me, music biz, Marty."
Good Lord. That reminds me of Macaulay Culkin's character screaming all over the house back from that day.
Yeah. Ah!
Wow.
Ah! All right, we gotta listen to the scream one more time.
Why would it be hard? Oh, yeah, love you. Bitch. No! Get the fuck out of here.
All right, that's enough of that.
Okay.
I think we've given this scumbag enough airtime.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, all right. So the latest Cyrax update, and you'll get a kick out of this, is like Music Biz Marty since passed away, but there has been other trolls that have kind of carried the torch, which has been William Glory Hole and a really cool guy named John. So shout out to John. John is actually from Dallas, and he's a really cool dude. I've interacted with him a few times, and John and William Glory Hole, they're teaming up to do drone strikes on Cyrax's house, just to kind of just scare the living daylights out of him. And Cyrax is really like he got boot like Cyrax. He'll do like these videos, and you'll have to look it up because it's called the Cyrax cycle. Because he comes back and he's all smug and he's on top of the world. Yeah, I got a really cool like project going on. And then people antagonize him and he becomes the internet tough guy. He's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna come after you. I'm gonna sue you for everything you got." And then he gets like in rage mode. And when he gets into rage mode, because he's not all there and he's kind of like a deformed little goblin man. Like his eyes will actually go like, instead of like crossing, they actually go that way. But yeah, all right. Okay, enough of Cyrax, right? Enough of Cyrax. So I'm going to hold down the fort by myself. Just for a minute. Oh, Cyrax, why won't you learn, dude? Why won't you learn? But no, that's the latest. John, you're the best, man. You're the best. Also, shout out William Glory Hole. Shout out Southern Harlot. Shout out Goblin Records. And shout out to N-Word Boy. Although I think N-Word Boy kind of disappeared, but I think he might have metamorphosized into Goblin Records. But yeah, the best. The best. And I mean, like, you never ever want to like punch down on somebody. It's just, and I don't even tell people like, please don't go after like Cyrax or anything like that. So don't go after Cyrax. Leave him alone. But yeah, but no, we good. We good, man. Anywho, Kino Casino actually came up with something really good. And I'm going to show a snippet of that too. Hopefully the casino is very gracious to me and they do not, they don't go after me. Shout out to Triple P, good old Ashton, and and shout out to Warski. But we'll show this real quick. It is called the is it the dented zone? Yeah, that's the dented zone. While Ed stepped away, I'll show like some snippets of the dented zone. And by the way, check out Kino Casino. They are on Kick. So www.kick.com/Kino Casino Kino Casino Gaming, and they don't really game. They just make fun of people. So let's do that while Ed's gone, and we'll watch a little bit of this. Not a ton.
That they had one scheduled and they just decided not to do it.
So for the uninitiated, this is Darkside Phil. The Darkside Phil could have been a bigger streamer / YouTuber if he wasn't like anti-Semitic and racist and just said everything and anything that you could say wrong. Darkside Phil did exactly that. He did what not to do as far as building a career on YouTube, on Twitch, on Kick, wherever. So we'll just show.
I keep telling you guys, it's this simple. If you support me more, think about everything that's happened this year.
We will not support you,
over the course
Phil.
of this year when
No.
you've been supporting me.
You're an e-beggar. You're a liar and you're a
my
scammer.
setup. I have bought way more games and played a
No, like, but you beg everybody to play games, man. Quit.
bigger variety of games than ever before.
Oh man, guys, we got to hit this goal. Otherwise, we can't do DSP Tries It where I eat the latest McDonald's meal.
I've expanded my horizons, adding peripherals and things to this that I've never done. I tried new projects like building Legos and doing all.
But that's all kiddie shit, dude. I mean, do something really fun. Do some IRL shit. You know, do some collabs. Do some really fun collabs. With like, I don't know, like, and monetize the haters, dude. Get in the lion's dens with an ALT like insider, with Meerkat Mob. Take interviews, talk to these people, and defend yourself. And the problem is you can't defend yourself. You're gonna lose every single time. You don't know how to interact with other humans, because when somebody noticed that they were in one of your games, like they were like, weren't you the guy who jacked off on stream? So like, Phil, like, I don't know, like you could do way better than this, man.
This fun stuff. I let you guys pick new DSP Tries It's.
No.
Right, like a flight of beers and
No.
stuff like that. It's all been
No, that's not the case.
change and improvement because you guys have supported me. I want you to think about
Mostly because you begged for that support, Phil, and you guilt trip people.
how different in the last 1 year things have been since all that time before it when I was basically broke. Okay? Now I want you to think about how much has actually changed with Kino Casino since people shower them with money.
The problem is Kino Casino is actually entertaining. They're actually really funny. Like, I mean, they go with new themes like almost all the time. Like, I mean, they're doing the Kino-ween, which is really funny. They do these projects. I mean, Phil's like, hey, give me X amount of money, and I'll do a really lame DSP Tries It, where I try like the latest meal from McDonald's. And you guys get to watch me eat it, which is like the most ridiculous thing ever. Where you go, let's go a little bit further on. You get something that comes out of the blue from the casino. Keep in mind, Warski does an amazing Dark Side Phil.
You shouldn't want her to cook because you asked me to do the taco Lunchables. What, they're gonna sit in my fridge now?
This is so good. And this
All
just
right,
came out of
this
the
is
blue.
last chance. I'm serious.
I'm
serious.
This is so good. Warski is like a perfect Dark Side Phil.
A man for whom each day is the same day. An unending hamster wheel torture of his own creation.
For $2, Hosta's wife of Renton 220
Sorry about that.
says,
That's fine.
"Why are you such a
You're
broke,
good.
irrelevant loser?"
Obviously, I was outside.
I moved on from Cyrax, and you know we're talking about Dark Side Phil.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So, are these your revels or people you can't stand? Not rebels, rivals.
Yeah, as much as I would love to be rivals with Dark Side Phil and Cyrax. I mean, how funny would it be for Cyrax? But here's the problem with Cyrax, though. If you get him on stream with you, he's gonna lie to you, and then he's gonna start shouting. Like he's gonna he's gonna start shouting like profanity and slurs and call you every single name in the book. And then if all else fails, he's gonna pull out his junk and start, choking his chicken on stream. Because he thinks if he does that, you get booted off, you get banned. Which is like, no, like I'm not doing it. You were doing it. And for Dark Side Phil is so elusive. And Darkside's Phil is Darkside Phil. Okay. This is Andy Worski portraying Darkside Phil. But we'll go back. This is real Darkside Phil. This is real Darkside Phil. And Darkside Phil is a very, very sad, also a sad little man out of Seattle. He's got a bad internet reputation. Like, and he's a beggar, he's a scammer, and he's kind of but he used to be like one of the YouTube OGs. He had a, I mean, now there's more people that don't like him versus people who like him. I think he's streaming right now, and he might be streaming to like maybe like 100 people. I mean, way better than what we're doing right now, but it's like, but we're just starting out. He's been around for about 15 to 20 years. I mean, I think 20 years probably, I want to say like in about 2027 maybe. Because I think he debuted in 2007. And you'd figure like whenever he streams or whatever, he'd bring in like at least like, 1,200, 1,500 people per stream. But no, he barely draws flies. He really does. And then you get like somebody like Kino Casino with Triple P and Worski, and they average probably close to about 4,000 to 6,000 people per stream on Kick. Probably more than that now, since they've touched on more things, and a larger YouTuber, like they've really thrown some tomatoes at, like acknowledge them, and that's the worst thing you do with some of your trolls is acknowledge your trolls. Right. And like then it just brought more eyeballs to him, and yeah. But yeah, this is Darkside Phil. He's kind of deteriorated quite a bit. But I was showing like bits and pieces of like the Dented Zone, which is like a Twilight Zone episode revolving or like basically a Darkside Phil parody. So
Expansion 4.
But Worski does such a nice job.
One of the biggest franchises in Nintendo history. But no support today. It doesn't bode well. And remember, I had to already remove Minecraft from the rotation, and Truck Simulator is hanging on by a thread. That's not good, folks. We are $27 away.
Okay, and then he is in a kind of a loveless marriage. He's an alcoholic on the side. This is Triple P playing the role of his wife. And his wife used to be really good looking. Like, I mean, people kind of kid that she had a horse face, but I was like, I thought Kat was good looking. And now, like, Kat's like, she's kind of blown up quite a bit. And she kind of looks like she's wearing a muumuu. Like Homer Simpson out of, like...
Kat, yeah. How do you like the gourmet...
So is that him being her, or is that really her?
No, that's a Triple P acting
her.
As her. Yeah. Yep, acting as her. So, I guess what I could do...
Yeah, show us the real photo. So
yeah, I can show you the real photo of Kat. Okay, all right. We'll go Snort Hogan. Go Snort Hogan on this. And it's so crazy because like she actually used to be like halfway decent looking.
OSHA Education Center is
okay. All right.
is the #1.
We'll give OSHA a little bit of their shine. Hold on.
So what caused her to go that way?
I think it's just all the DoorDash, and then she can't cook. But yeah, there she be. There we go. I'm gonna turn the volume off because I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's kind of, it's like Homer Simpson wearing the muumuu now, guys. And then yeah, like this was I think last year because Kat is very elusive. Kat will not really show up on his streams. So let's see how she used to be. Okay, yeah, they did a thing called Where is Kat? Yeah, let's see.
Just saw the part where she went like this on her face.
Oh, here we go. The extremely awkward video. Okay, all right. This is how she used to look like. So yeah, it's very awkward. I mean, like he got really skinny, he almost got ghoulish, and then she kind of blew up. So yeah. Anywho, all right. There's nothing new at DSP other than the Dented Zone that came out, and that was really good.
There could be that, and maybe their relationship dynamic. It was kind of weird, isn't it?
It was very weird. It is very
So weird. maybe her depression helped to contribute to
that. I almost had a Sweeze moment.
Hello.
Hello.
It's the ghost of Christmas past. Hello.
Yeah. It was just.
I was waiting for a cat to come jumping through the hole.
Yeah. But no, that was Cat. That's his wife, and it was kind of a. Yeah, it was a. Yeah, it is what it is. Like he's also like kind of. I mean, I think like they're. I don't know. There's some other stuff going on. Some other dynamics that we don't know about because they're probably behind closed doors. But
yeah,
that's the latest. That's the latest out of me. Just other than doing other things.
Actually, it's almost like it's a perfect segue to go from here to there.
Mm-hmm.
And first, I know I said something earlier, and I didn't mean it quite the way it sounds. I know that the producer of SCP Pro is Rick Elsey, and he is a wonderful man. Know him in real life. Well, I've gotten to meet him, the real him, through that. Wonderful, sweet guy, and I know his characters, who it is in the wrestling world. And I know I said something about the producer needs to get educated, and I still mean that, but I didn't mean it so nonchalantly, aggressively as I did. There's always room for improvement in things, and
oh yeah, there always is.
So yeah, and I know like he talked about the characters who made their whoever say the N word in front of a bunch of people, and they rectified that over the way they were supposed to, and so this thing again, I get really passionate when it comes to my culture, and so I didn't mean it to sound. I guess if it did, I apologize for it sounding assholishness and directed at him. But yeah, there's always room for improvement. And again, the thing his character is doing is not something that's generally accepted by 80% of the real native population. It's like, okay, well, here, let's modify that.
Yeah.
And so that's really what I meant by it. And so again, I'm sorry. I meant no offense to him. He's a wonderful man, and I know he's trying his hardest to make sure to be respectful to everybody. I know that about him. So I just want to make sure to say that on stream so that he knew that, sincerely, I adore what he does, and he's a good guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's like I said, it's lack of education, and even in some regards, it's miseducation. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they all, he's what, my age or older, and we all grew up seeing that imagery on TV.
Yep. Oh yeah, I did too.
Here comes the character, and probably he saw something too that told him that, he wears I think he wears a breastplate, and he has a breechcloth, and that stuff's all fine. Okay, cool. And I know those are fake feathers in his hair, because otherwise he'd be going to prison.
Yeah, you can't collect eagle feathers.
No, or hawk or owl or anything like that. You got to have permits for that. So. Yeah. His character dressing, okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, just that one act, I'm like, change it. And so,
well, I think it could be refined more than anything. That's the biggest thing, is you could just refine it.
And that's what you and I agree on, is that it can be, if things can be improved, they can be better. They can be. And this isn't even a PC thing. This is just being more respectful to the actual people. So
sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Anywho, you had something going on. You were going on another rant before we went on.
The stream started.
Yeah.
Are you sure? No, I was saying it was a perfect segue from seeing the man's wife.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the woman used to be real thin, and most people look at her and say, "Well, she got fat because she can't stop eating." Well, maybe depression happened. Maybe.
Because if I was his wife, man, I would not want to be around Darkside Phil, man. It would just be depressing, and then you just hear him like, and then like, I mean, as a woman, you want your man to be around, right? So like,
and try to respect you.
Yeah, and and then just I don't know. We don't know what Phil's maybe. I mean, I'll never know because you don't know who anybody is until you walk a mile in their shoes. But,
Yeah.
But like Phil, like before, always tried to like have you peer into his life, and his life was a disaster, and that was why he had so many critics.
Right.
Nowadays he does his live streams, he as his business, and and then he's gotten really private outside of things, but he wants to tell you about his day. Well, let's tell you about my day off. Like, to me, that's just so hypocritical. Like you like, and the problem is like you went down that slippery slope. There's no return. You introduced your, he introduced his like ex-girlfriend at the time, and then he brought on his wife on stream. Like I don't know. Like,
I wonder if he ran that by her.
Yeah, like I mean, I bet you he probably had to pull teeth to get her on or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think if I remember correctly, because I remember tuning in and like just people were going crazy. It's like, oh man, Kat really let herself go. And then, but he was
probably the main reason why.
and she was eyeballing that chat the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Looking for stupid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But, or people just asking stupid questions, or like the detractors to come in or whatever. But
yeah, like I was saying, I've used the term hyperinsulinemia. The reason most people start to put on weight and get fat is not because they're eating too much. It's because their body isn't cooperating and it's doing certain things, and insulin resistance. All this is starting to happen. So people start to put on diabetes. That's where we're going with this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I've said on here, talked before about my diabetes that I had back in 2021, and I guess you would still say that I'm a recovered diabetic. People don't like to use the word cure, but if you're never going back to eating the way that made you that sick in the first place and you quote unquote put in remission, I'd like to say that I've cured myself of heading that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't care what people say if they want to sit there and discount my accomplishment, because it makes them feel better to sit there and go, you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm like, no, I've lost the weight. I've put my A1C in a healthy range. My cholesterol is good. All these metabolic changes I made to my body by just taking care of myself a lot better. And then I'm never going back. And I'll never have to risk that again. Nobody's ever going to sit there and they tell me again in the doctor's room, you're diabetic. It's not happening, and I won't let it. Mm-hmm. I know how to eat now to keep myself healthy and satiated. That was the most important thing, was satiation.
Yeah.
So I'm good there. And where this jumps off, I guess you were talking about my rant earlier, is that recently this year I've been dealing with high ocular pressure. It's called ocular hypertension.
Yeah. And
that can lead to glaucoma if you leave it unchecked. And I said can lead to glaucoma. WashU did a study back in I can look it up real quick, but the Washington University in St. Louis did a study of 1,600 patients over a long period of time, years of time, and they found out that 25% of their participants, mostly the Black and African American population, were the ones who developed glaucoma through what was going on with the eye pressures going up and then whatever else was contributing. We don't know if those patients had diabetes. We don't know if they had cancer. We don't know a lot. But the point is that something about the population showed that they're more exposed and apt to getting glaucoma than the rest of the population. Okay, cool. I'm small percentage Native American. I do have a large European blood background, and I'm like, okay, but here's still this problem. And so I was taking one medication to try to not medication. I was taking a supplement. It's called AC carbamide for urea. It's a urea, and it's supposed to help equal out the water and stuff in your body and pressure. Blah 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 blah. Supposed to. None of this is medical advice. This is stuff that I'm trying. So I thought it had worked because I was off these eye drops that's supposed to lower your pressure after 33 days, and I went back and got my eye pressures checked. It was 18, 16. That's below the threshold of 22 and higher. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. We're fine. Well, I just went back Tuesday this past week, and the woman's like, oh, you got 36 and 28. And I was on these 3 antibiotics, 2 antibiotics and an antifungal for stuff coming from medication. And so I'm like, well, those things all say that they can cause swelling in the body. And so I'm going, did that mess with the pressure in my eyes? Even hypertension, regular hypertension, blood pressure can mess with your eye pressure. I've done so much research this past year, it's not even funny. And then, okay, fine. Well, I said, you know what? I do have self-preservation. So I got back on these stupid drops. It's called tefluprost. Mm-hmm. It's prescribed by an optometrist. And then, my pressures came back down to 16, 18, 3 days later. To me, that seemed like an extreme drop. She did put Timolol in my eyes, which is a beta blocker, but I'm going, that shouldn't last 3 days. It was just one little dose. And again, those should wear off because I didn't meet a threshold after 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm like, okay, fine. My pressures are down. I'm good for right now. Where this conversation goes is that if you listen to your doctor and just roll over and take it, you are doing yourself a disservice. Doctors do not know everything. An optometrist is nothing more than a PhD. They have a doctorate in optometry. They do not have a medical degree. Ophthalmologists have a medical degree. So there is a big difference in that. You need to question everything because they're going based off of old information, old research, and not looking at this new stuff. Dr. Berg on YouTube is a wonderful source of information because he's in there saying this stuff has been shown to work. And, there's things like red light therapy, taking more D3, taking niacin or B3. These things can all help, but it's got to be done in such a way that your body can meet these thresholds of the medication, or the vitamins and stuff to kick in. Mm-hmm. And I'm being a lot more tame now for Tyler's sake, but I was so livid because I was upset that this optometrist is telling me, here, do this. And I'm like, but there's all this other stuff. And she doesn't even acknowledge that any of that could be a possibility. She's like, no, it's this, with her attitude. And so you can imagine when I was told that I was diabetic, knowing that after the fact that there was keto and carnivore, and my doctor hands me this crap list of saying, well, eat white fish, eat chicken, eat any vegetable you want, eat fruit, eat bran cereal, eat oatmeal, eat bread. This was all on my list of approved foods from the American Diabetes Association. If I had followed that diet, I'd still be diabetic. I mean, let's just face it, I'd still be sick. So I will never just look at a doctor again or an optometrist, basically the equivalent of a PhD, and go, okay, your word is law. So to the people who see this, I implore you, always question, always research, always see if there's another way. Because if you just simply take the doctor's way, it'll either A, never get fixed like diabetes and possibly my high tension that could lead to glaucoma, or you're just going to do what everybody else has done and continue to get sick. So question everything. Sorry, there's my soapbox. And again,
I think that's with everything in life. Don't you think, Ed? We need to kind of question things and be like, okay, all right, maybe this isn't exactly all needs to be set in stone. I mean, now, okay, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, 2 + 2 still equals 4, right? But
right, unless you're my son, he says 22. But go ahead.
Okay, all right.
I'm kidding.
I mean, it's perspective, but yeah, yeah, you gotta question. Sometimes you gotta question it to make it better, right? And that's how
navigate.
Yeah. And, I think sometimes it's good to get, your take from multiple sources rather than just one. I think so many people are so quick to just go to one source and be like, oh, here's this is just my one source. And I feel like to really paint a more complete picture, you have to talk to multiple people, talk to multiple sources, get multiple perspectives. and then you determine where to go from there. Because at the end of the day, it's still your choice. It's still on you.
It's your body. And if you're going to trust somebody to take care of you, I wouldn't say that me and a doctor's views need to align every single time. But to me, a doctor is a means to an end. They are not the law. And they're certainly not the expert. They're scientists. They don't know everything. And the good ones will sit there and say, I don't know everything. The bad ones will sit there and say, here's your script, get out of my office, move on. They're so quick to give you a pill or a drop that they don't stop to think that, what else is there? Your health is your health. That's exactly why we say it's your health. You're in charge.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for help. You're absolutely right, Tyler. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do I know? I just write and take
Well,
pictures.
you know enough not to just sit there and roll over and take it. I mean, come on. It's anybody who does that is just doing themselves a disservice. And I know that there's these cases. The good news about time is that as more time goes by, more cures, more treatments, more everything comes available to us. I mean, what was it in the 1860s during the Civil War? That's when we discovered antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know what that was before then. Nobody really knew. I'm not sure how far back that dates in the Chinese and Japanese culture because they've known how to treat poison way back in the early, 1200s?
Would you like penicillin on your pizza?
Absolutely. The turtles were onto something. But that came out of the first movie in 1990.
Yeah.
But
it's a great movie.
I love it. But I mean, it's just, as more time goes by, we are discovering things and taking humanity in a place to where we can advocate for ourselves better. But you still have these people who will sit there in that office and don't not believe this for a second. Every single one of these optometrists, doctors, ophthalmologists, specialists, whatever they are, they get kickbacks. They get money, commission to write you prescriptions. So there's that too. These people come in here and say, well, this stuff works, write the prescription. We'll pay you X number of dollars to your practice. That is a real thing. And so they're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They're pushing a medicine that's been told that work. Let's not forget about how the epidemic went. What was it with the things that opioid crisis.
Mm-hmm.
They said, no, this will help you. Millions of people have died and gotten sick from using this stupid pill that somebody came in and said, here, we got the newest thing. Here, start writing the script. So I always implore people, take care of yourself. That's why I'm taking the drops right now, because it's my choice, not hers.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to buy me time to get where I need to go. That's all that is.
Yeah.
I don't believe that she says, this is all you can do.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm passionate. You guys have seen me get worked up about stuff before, but that's because I'm passionate.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's more so, it's more so, hey, like, I just gotta take care of myself and I gotta do whatever is necessary. But it's also, hey, don't just rely on just like one source. Look for multiple sources on that same topic
every time.
Yeah. And
if
that will paint you a better picture.
Yeah. Yeah. If you've got a family member that's a whiz on the computer, we say whiz on the computer. It's people who know how to type and search Google. That's what that is, or use a phone. If you need help, reach out, email us, ask me questions. I'll sit there and try to put you in the right direction. I don't know. I don't know everything, but I know what I know. And it's like, I know how to go find the information because it's out there and all you got to do is look for it.
Right. Right. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
It's out there. And there's a lot of there's even there's a whole bunch of academia that, I mean, now some academia, they're all going to conclude on one thing, but also find something that suits, what's going to work, what in your mind, what works out for you best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for mine, it's a combination of things. Like one thing there's a woman on her name's Lisa Wiedemann. She's on YouTube and she goes by the tag carnivore doctor. And one thing, I haven't seen all of her videos. I don't have time to watch, hours and hours and hours of stuff. But
Yeah.
you're able to grab things at certain points that she says and put it together. That's the good news. Okay, carnivore diet. Well, I've been doing keto carnivore. Fine. I'm already there for that part. Now that has fixed a lot of my body. Good. We're great. Fatty liver disease shouldn't be a problem. Gallbladder stones, those should have, if I had any, they should be dissolved according to the research on what these diets do. Fine. But then we get to the eyes, and some people are saying, well, I'm on carnivore and I got rid of my macular degeneration. I got rid of my dry eye. I used red light therapy and got rid of my myopia, nearsightedness. But the one thing that I heard her say in passing through her videos, but didn't really try practicing, was using red light therapy from the sun or from a device. And so I need to explore this next. It's a series of steps you take to try to get to the answer.
Sure.
And now other doctors are on the internet are pulling from that, and they're giving the same advice. They say, well, try this. This has been shown to reduce ocular hypertension. Stop glaucoma in its tracks. Do this, do that. So
sure.
You got to do what you got to do to protect yourself, and then listen to what's out there.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I was prescribed glasses, and you wouldn't tell because I don't wear glasses anymore. But my great grandmother taught me an old trick.
What'd you do?
So to get me to wean away from wearing glasses is you focus on the contours, the lines on your hand. You focus on them and focus on them hard. And then you focus on, like, say, a clock, maybe on the other side of the room.
So 12 feet away, 20 feet?
Yeah. And you focus on that clock, and then you focus on your hand, and then you focus on the clock. You're working out your eyes to where they can become stronger.
Right. And that worked for you?
And it worked for me.
Were you nearsighted or farsighted?
I was nearsighted.
Nearsighted, so myopia. Yeah, okay, myopia.
Yeah. And that's
I need to try that.
And I'm not my vision is still not the best, but I don't have to wear glasses all the time. I will wear glasses for the blue light. So I just don't get tired when I'm looking at screens after looking at screens all day. That way I'm not getting, just tired and be like, oh man, I looked at screens all day. I'm tired.
Right.
That's the only time where I'll wear the glasses, is for that. But
I guess my question is, do your glasses correct you to 20/20, or you got 20/20 without the glasses?
Well, I think my eyes aren't 20/20. With glasses, I can have 20/20 vision, but now I'm like, well, I can still see things from far away.
And then
it would
still
be
tell
like, how to blobs.
Right. Well, when you're reading a sign about 30 feet in front of you, if you take your glasses off, is it blurry?
No.
From 30 or 40 feet away, you can see it, and it's crisp and sharp without glasses.
It's not the sharpest, but it's not like I'm looking at blobs.
You can read it.
Yep, I can read it.
All right. Well, I need to maybe try that. Again, the red light therapy can help with that too. Yeah. So between this and that, I'm always fascinated by things that we can do to fix our bodies, because we can fix them.
Yeah.
And you're mentioning one more thing that I had no idea about, but it makes sense because you're training your eyes to focus this distance, that distance, this, that. And so it makes sense that you can retrain that lens to do that.
Yeah. And my great grandmother, she used to do this, she used to have this little pendulum thing, and she put it over like a drink. And if it swirled in a little circle, that meant it was good to drink. But if it was going like this way, like back and forth,
straight line or back and forth,
yeah, it wasn't good.
Then it should have been bad.
Yep. Huh. She wouldn't touch it.
Cool.
Yeah. The old ways, we've forgotten a little bit about the old ways. What our grandparents and what our great grandparents learned. And what was crazy is my great grandmother, they survived a really bad winter in the Great Depression and they ate nothing but applesauce that winter.
Sorry, that was my son.
Yeah.
I think one time he came out in his morning. He was wearing his boxers. I think he didn't mean to. He jumped in, and I'm like, the camera caught you. He's like, what? Thank God he's 18, but still, it's like,
yeah.
Poor kid.
Well, if you're gonna give a peep show, don't do it for free.
Yeah.
Strobe lights, strobe lights, party boy music. Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. My son, he turns 19 this weekend.
Oh
3
my
days
gosh.
on the 15th. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been rough these last 5-6 years. I'm like, okay, he's growing up, so goodness gracious, it's glad that he's not so young-minded anymore. I think I was watching an episode of Blue Bloods last night. Today, we're sitting at the dinner table, and they're having their family discussion. They said something about kids are fun and cute when they're born, then they get older and they become a pain in the ass for quite a while. But then it comes back, they get a little more older, then it's fun again. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, we're starting to turn that leaf and get there. He's becoming fun again, not slamming doors, giving attitude, answering with a what
you want?
Yeah, nobody understands my world. I'm so isolated. It's like we've all done that. We've all gone through that.
We've all been
there.
So
it's nice that he's calming down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's called maturity.
Hormones. That's exactly what it was.
And maturity comes with time. I know some people who don't really I think according to studies now, you do not fully develop until you are about 25. And like physically, it's when you're 21. Mentally, it's 25, and it depends on. It's a case by case basis. It depends on individuals. So, Cyrax, for instance, still behaves like a mean-spirited teenager, where like somebody like you and me, like we we'll get maybe a little mad every now and then, but for the most part, we stay pretty laid back.
And to be honest with you, I don't think emotions really shows your maturity, because you're going to be emotional, no matter what happens. But what I can agree with you on is that maturity happens. It happens too slow, in my opinion. Wink, wink. But it's also a blast. I'm tough enough to put up with it. Most parents sit there and like, well, I wash my hands of you, and I don't want to do that. I just want to become more relaxed over time. And again, that's all I want, and it will happen.
Oh yeah.
But emotions, and I get mad and ticked off and angry about things too.
Don't we all?
Perfect example. Your eye drops and things like that. And here's one thing I didn't tell you. So when I came back on Friday, she said something about, you need to go see this guy. I said, no, not right now. And she said, you need to work with me. And I went, okay. Just like being immature, I was like, okay, because I'm like, again, my body, my choice. Yeah. And so. Yeah, where we heard that one. But then something else later on about the pressures, she said, are you on any medication? And I said no, because I'm not on any medication. But then I said later, after she checked my pressures and verified it was 16/18, I said, well, did you also mean the eye drops too? And she said, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, no, I've been taking it the last few days, because again, my body, I'm taking care of it. And she got mad at me. She got upset, visibly upset in the office. And I'm like, okay. And, she's like, you can't, she said, are you going to stay on the drops this time? And I'm like, for now. That's exactly what I said. I said, for now. And then she's like, well, you can't get off them, get back on, get off, get on. That's what she said to me. I'm like, ooh, somebody finally understands my frustration about how it's like to be told something. And then, here's this other stuff out there. So I felt a little bit of satisfaction, getting under her skin. I'm like, you know what? You want to do that to me? It's time to do it to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I'm an angel.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that to a person before where I got under their skin, and but that's it. I mean,
But we were mature when we did it.
Yeah, we did it in a very mature manner, or
yes,
yeah. So like, I don't know, like there's some things like I hear people say, and it's like, well, don't be sarcastic with them, and I'm like, I remember what is it? Oh gosh, it was on one of my jobs, and there are like some things, and there's like some booths that are in like that room, and it's really, I mean, it's not bad. I was just like, but no, I had like two guys. It's like, oh yeah, we're gay, and I basically immediately shot back. Yeah, let's keep that in the closet, please. Now, nothing. I mean, I've met plenty of, met plenty of gay people. There's really great gay people out there. There's some that are whiners. There's some that kind of ruin the party for everybody else. But you meet somebody that's that gets it. That's like, hey, okay, I'm not interested in you in that way. Oh, okay, well, yeah. Cool. And then they turn into the nicest people. And some of the hardest people I've met were hardest working people. We're gay. I mean, so I don't have much of a, my opinion's very, right down the road, right middle of the road. Right. Because I've met different types of people that are just, they're all about it and it's obnoxious. And then there's people that are just, okay, yeah, I just, I'm not attracted to this side, but I'm attracted to this side. And then as long as they tell you, as long as you tell them, hey, my door doesn't swing that way, they're completely fine.
Oh, I've been hit on before. And
yeah.
And I'm like, well, thank you, but I'm
sorry, but my door doesn't swing that way. And they turn into the nicest people. They're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
They shot their shot. They're like, okay, he's not interested. We're good. And some people get offended. Like, what do you mean? Because they're the phobics.
They're the obnoxious.
Bunch of them here in Texas. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is hard to believe.
How dare you hit on me? Well,
How dare you?
It's like you can't look at them and tell they're gay. They can't look at you and tell you're straight. Get the hell over it.
But I knew people that were like, okay, so this. I mean, I think I told this story before, where I was working, and these older ladies thought I was gay, and because they would see my friends come over and hang out with me, but I never brought over any girls. But these people didn't get enough context, so they made it presumptions. They made assumptions, and you know what happens with assumptions. It makes an ass out of you, and it makes an ass out of me. So when I was like, one of these people that were coming over, that was my own dad that was coming over. Coming over and just hanging out with me, and they're all whispering amongst each other. And they're like, oh, I think he's this. I think he's that. I never seen him with a girl. And there were plenty. I mean, and that was brought up to a few girls that know me, that know me personally. And they're like, they don't know what they're talking about. Like, we could tell who's gay, and he's not one of them. So yeah.
Not to mention that's his father.
Yeah, and then I mean, my other friends that came over, that. It's strictly platonic. There's nothing. I was like, yeah, I can have platonic friends too. I mean, I've best friends. I almost call them platonic life partners, Yeah. But yeah, I like my ladies. I like my ladies. I'll make it known. Yeah. But I'm very. Here's the deal though. Is I think one of the reasons why I married the career is just. I have just insanely high standards. Insanely high standards.
So you're picky.
I'm a pick-me, although I don't look like a pick-me anymore.
No, I said picky.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Because I know some females that they're looked at as pick-me's, you know,
Yeah.
because they're like, well, we don't like the modern feminist take. They're more trad wife, kind of more traditional compared to like the ultra contemporary feminists where it's like, oh yeah, you know, I want to put down other men, or, you know, like, you know, I hate this about men. Why are men so toxic? Why is there so much toxic masculinity out there? And I'm like, well, okay. And that's kind of, for me, that's a red flag. It's like, well, it's give or take. There's, you know, there's some men that ruin it for the rest of us. And then, you know, there's some ladies that ruin it for the rest of them. And, and it's those crazy people that are going to have the loudest voices. They're going to have the most crazy opinions. And it's a case of the empty can rattles the most, right? You know,
Right.
you get people that like don't know what they're talking about, and they're the most loud about it.
Yeah.
And
usually those people are the ones trying to sit there and go, I know everything. And you're like,
no.
You don't know shit.
No.
You don't know jack shit.
No. And I knew somebody that was like that. He pretended he thought he knew everything. And, you know, and I get it. You know, you can fake it till you make it. You can bullshit your way through things. But on the other hand, you actually got to know what you're talking about. And I remember this one young reporter. She was like, hey, I'm looking into getting cameras. And this dude was like, well, you need to go mirrorless for everything. And mirrorless cameras, if you want to get a quality one, really nice quality one, I mean, that sets you back about, you know, anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. Not to mention the lenses are going to cost more because it's a newer technology. You can, I mean,
and you know about this stuff because you work with cameras.
Yeah. Oh, all the time. So, like, you know, once he left, once he got out of the picture, I was like, hey, I leaned in. I was like, hey, you don't have to spend that much. You can buy this camera body for like $600 on eBay. And then you can get other things because it's like, you don't have to really shoot in really dingy places and you require a lot of action. You can get some cheaper lenses. I was like, or you could just get one, you know, kind of, you know, a $1,200 lens and you're good. And you're, you know, and that will be your end all be all. That will be all you need. And that's it. Yeah. And it costs you half or about a third of the price as he suggested to you. I said, I was very nice. I was like, well, you know, he's about 95% correct, but he's not entirely correct. And
because there's this other way. Yeah.
And when you call people out on that think they can do no wrong, they get really butthurt about it.
Oh yeah.
They get really defensive right away, and then they try to gaslight you, and they're like, I talked to this many people that, you know, that talked about you kicking my ass and this and kicking my ass and that, and I'm like, I
never said that. I was just talking about difference in price.
Well, I mean, it bled into other things. Like, I mean, I might have said something in passing. I was like, yeah, the guy was extremely talented in what he did. Right. However, he was difficult. He was a bad teammate. He was hard to work with. And this is cathartic for me to like talk about this a little bit and not give away too many details. Right. Like, it's what I don't understand is like, I think I trailed off and I was like, oh crud. But yeah, like, you know, I was like, hey, the guy can take a pretty picture. He knows when and where to be, or he waits for things to come to him, and that's fine. Everybody has their own style. I mean, as a photographer, I like to move around. I like to get different perspectives because, you know, or, you know, like try a top down or try something from down low, try from this angle, try from that angle, try, you know, move around a little bit. But yeah, like, I mean, it applies to almost everything. It's like, yeah, you just don't want to go in thinking that you know everything. Because the key to like I would say a more fulfilling life is to go in knowing that you know nothing. And you and you close your mouth, you open your ears. Like when I'm in an unfamiliar setting or I'm around unfamiliar people, I usually shut my mouth and open my ears. And then that's how I get to know people. And I heard this dude like talk enough, and he doesn't talk very much, but he went off as very like standoffish.
Right.
Yeah, and it's whatever, you know. He was probably and I had the best comeback. He was like, I talked to 2 people about how you kick my ass and this and how you kick my ass that. Well, first of all, he was incorrect. I said, yeah, you could take pretty pictures, but you are very difficult to work with. You're not a very good teammate. You don't look out for your teammates. You don't look out for your colleagues. Because at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. We're all trying to help people or try to get the word out on something, or provide coverage. And like he didn't take critique very well, like, cause he would just get butthurt about it. He would get very standoffish. Like if you said, hey, like, here's something that could help you, like he wasn't going to take it. And so I was like, wow. It sounds like projection if you ask me. And he shut up, and he like grumbled and grunted for 10 minutes and was on his phone doing this for 10 minutes. I shut him down really quick. But I mean, to people like that, man, grow up. Just grow up. Like, you know, I know more people that didn't like the guy. When he was gone, like he was out of the picture, like people would come up to me and be like, yeah. He's like, you know this guy? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm like, I don't have much of an opinion of him. And they're like, yeah, you're right. Like, unless he wanted something from you, he'd be a complete asshole. Right. And I mean, you know, that's on him. You know, maybe he needs to go back and fix himself. Maybe, I mean, I recommend, you know, taking a long, hard look in the mirror and being like, look, you know, what can I do to get better? I mean, at least 1% better every day, even if it's a 0.5% or a fraction of a percentage. How can I get better? I mean, and that's all we can do. And that's my fatherly advice. I mean, I don't have very much fatherly advice, but yeah, there's just
that.
Yeah, that I don't know. I mean, but you can't fix people like that either. You can't go in, and also you can't go in to everything and thinking that you can save everybody, because not everybody wants to be saved.
Exactly right.
And that's because that's ego. That's because, you know, maybe there's some traumatic event to where they can't take criticism very well. I mean, that's why we look at like Dark Side Filler. We look at Cyrax, for instance. And for them, it's a never-ending cycle of things. They just can't take criticism. They can't grow, or they encountered something that mentally stunted them to where they can't improve themselves, or they can't listen to their criticisms and learn to get better. I mean, I mean, and I'll let this know. I'll give everybody kind of a sneak peek. Afterwards, Ed and I talk about streams, and Ed is very, very good about giving me feedback. And you know, I just try to take that in as best as I can. And then I'm like, okay, all right, you know, what are some things that I can go back and fix? Or actually, what can I do to take with me and make this into a better experience? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I do the streams with you, and I'm always sitting here thinking, okay, it's okay to swear, but I try not to make it filthy, because you know, we got apparently when we were at our show, for instance, last month. I'm sorry, the wrestling show, not our show, their show.
Yeah, Square Circle Pro. Yeah.
There were children that came up and got our pens and business cards, because the moms are like, here, you want this? And they give it to them. And so I'm always in mind here thinking, okay, I know that I'm going to slip and say something, you know, this, that, and the other. But if there's a possibility these children are watching, I don't want it to be so dirty that they can't hear some of the messages that we're putting out there or some of the conversation.
Yeah.
And so, it's hard because we are who we are. And, I'm sad that I grew up, cussing and doing all that stuff. But at the same time, at least I'm up here thinking, okay, if my 12-year-old's watching this, how far can I go? And I don't want to go so far that they can't. That's my point. And
yeah. Oh yeah.
I know
or like if they put on the stream or whatever, their parents immediately turn it off.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you've told me yourself, you said, this is unfiltered. You can say whatever you want. And granted, we have disclaimed that, there's going to be things that are sensitive topic. There's going to be cussing. There's going to be that. But do we have to purposely make it bad? And the answer is no, absolutely not.
No. I mean, and then even then we still have disclaimers that protect us. And, but you also got to carry responsibility when it's responsibility,
Exactly.
you could say like, a shit or a damn or whatever. And nowadays, but you got to carry that same responsibility. You can't just go into a crowded theater and shout fire.
Yeah. Just go, bah, 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 bah. Yeah.
Or,
just can't
or you're basically, I mean, there's some episodes where we feel like we're shouting into the void, but there's also, times where, we gotta think about future audiences as well. And because people are going to probably tune in. And I mean, one of these days we'll have a YouTube commentator come our way, and they'll probably be like, this is where it all started. And this is how they were. They had some early installment weirdness, and that's
right.
But I mean, other than that, but so far so good.
You mentioned a commentator one day. What was so nice this past week, and I thought it was cool, is that we had mentioned Cottonwood Fair here in town.
Yeah.
And we, I think you put up a reference.
I shared one of their posts. Yeah.
Yeah, on Facebook. And they came and liked it. And I know how that works. If it's in order for something to get seen by them and their audience, they have to like it, and it projects it to their audience.
Yeah.
And while it may not have been a big post that sat there and said, Unfiltered podcast, at least in the notifications for people to follow them, it said Cottonwood Fair liked Unfiltered podcast. I know that had to be there.
Oh, I'm sure.
So what does that do? That helps to give us, traffic in a direction to where we like I said, you and Sweeze. I'm sorry, it's hard to.
Sweeze.
You said that
He's
word.
been out of the picture for so long, but I mean, we're still thinking about you, Sweeze. By the way, shout out Sumo Dog. Shout out Sumo Bear.
But you and him are more about the wrestling and stuff, and he was very passionate about it, and you are too, and nothing wrong with that. But I know that's the direction you guys tend to go in some conversation, and neither here nor there. But the point is, it's good to get reached out in these other audiences. Possibly there's something that we have to offer. They have to offer us. We could invite King Richard and Queen Elizabeth to come on to the podcast and say, well, blah, 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 because they promoted with News Channel 10 here in town.
Oh, yeah.
And they talked about it. So why couldn't we do the same damn thing?
Exactly.
Just to get known by them and their audience. Again, it was a blast. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. And, I may be, I guess, a nerd, but I still had fun. That's all that matters.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Other people too. You get to meet new people. It's great.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, I as much as like I'm into the whole pro wrestling thing, and I've had probably the best feedback out of like professional wrestlers wanting to be on this show.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have Thugless on tap. I'd love to bring Thugless on one of these days, and he's from that comedy podcast sphere that Sweeze is a part of, and through Sweeze I was able to contact Thugless and get in touch with Sibling Revelry, and I mean, I'll let the cat out of the bag now. We're planning a crossover, probably early next year. That's what we're kind of aiming for. We'll probably record on a special time, or we'll pre-record it. We're not above not pre-recording something and just doing it as a premiere, and just and just do like in scheduling it for like a 2 p.m. on a Sunday. And make it a premiere rather than just a live stream. But But like Thugless was like, he was all about wanting to be on here, and shout out to Thugless, by the way. We love Thugless. And then just the crossover episode. We'll get a few more people on here, more sports ball people. I know I know a few members of my circle are very interested in popping on and and chatting with us. So yeah, look for those updates. Those will be really fun.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. And, sweet. Yeah. And the cool part is I mean, they know me well enough, and then it's like, oh, and then they probably, I'm like, yeah, there's episodes up on YouTube. You can check it out and see what you think. And the invite's open. It's always on the table.
Word.
Yeah. Word. Well, we've hit the 2-hour mark. I think we can wrap it up.
We're doing good.
We did really well. We had some really good conversations about stuff.
Absolutely.
Let me just do, if you haven't yet and you're just stumbling across the videos or previous live streams, please be sure to give them a like, give us a follow if you haven't already, and and share it.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share.
Hit that little bell.
Yeah. Yep. Hit the little bell. It'll do us a lot of good. It's greatly appreciated. I think when I was by myself, I actually shouted out some new subscribers, so I'm always happy to do that. I think another one is the lo-fi music in the background. If you've heard a little bit of the music, by the Relax Movement, they do a little bit of lo-fi music, and I was like, okay, all right, we need to find some copyright royalty-free music, and I just stumbled upon these guys, so now I actually hit them a new, a subscribe from here. So yeah, so big shout out to them, and yeah, I think that's about it.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I had
another show
one
next
last
week.
thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Another show next week. But I forgot about that. I was listening to the music, and I'm like, yes. And I'm sitting here getting amped up, and I'm like, you saw me do that right before we came on camera. I'm like, we need something the equivalent of Disturbed and a royalty free. Oh
yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I'm ready to go, man. It's like,
and here I am, on the other side of the spectrum. I'm like, man, I want to be relaxed when I talk to those who tune into us. Where I'm like, hey, tune in. It's it's pretty laid back. It's a chill atmosphere. I know there's some ways we can go about it where we bring a guest on and they turn it up to an 11, or it's just, or we're just sitting around and we're talking like we're a bunch of friends. So yeah, it really depends.
Maybe we can have some of that, then it switches over to a lo-fi, bring things down to a mellow. But I'm like, I'm gonna start off. I'm like, let's go.
You start off pretty chill, and then you go, and then you work your way up, and then you go to a crescendo, and then you work your way back down.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some feedback for you.
Yeah. There's some feedback. Let's save our content on Cyrax and Darkside Phil for the climax where I do my Cyrax impression.
Yeah.
For the last 7 motherfucking years, you trolls have made fun of me, and you made fun of me for the last time.
They get under you.
Knew the best, Marty. William Glory Hall, you're going down. Especially you, John, coming after me with your drones. Yeah, he can't talk right, so he's got this weird lisp. Lele. You need to leave me and my friends and my family alone. And leave me to my music. Oh, really, Cyrax? The music that you stole? Cool, man. the music that you made with AI slop. Oh, yeah, that's just amazing.
And auto-tune.
And auto-tune. He sings with auto-tune. Oh, God. Mom, I got diarrhea all over the place.
Wow.
Okay, all right. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up. Tune in to us next week. We'll see what we can do. Probably another chill edition. Another chill, very demure, very meaningful.
Take care of yourselves and remember, question everything.
Question everything. Yes. Yep. Yep. You can grow up with it. Like this is the same philosophy I have with like when it comes to like church or whatever. Respect the institution growing up. And then once you get to that point, question it, critique it, even in some instances, criticize it, because at the end of the day, you just want it to be better at the end of the day. And that should be with everything.
Come back and take care of yourself. Exactly.
Yep. And take care of yourself while you're doing it. Because some things in some extreme, like, and I mean, this was like, if I remember correctly, this was even practiced way back in the days of the ancient Greeks. Was, you don't want to be too excessive, and you don't want to do too much, and you don't want to too little. You got to find that happy medium.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moderation, just like consuming alcohol, you got to moderate.
Yeah, at least a 12-pack every day. Who cares? No, I'm kidding. Sometimes we feel like it, but
yeah, for sure. But
no.
Cool
Thank you,
deal.
everybody,
All
for
right.
helping us get to episode 10. And you take care of yourselves, and we love you. And we're kind of done
we
without
love
you.
y'all very much. Our people who tune in, and they with time they slowly bump up the numbers. So yeah, we love y'all. We love y'all. So until next time, 2 p.m. Sunday, Ed and I are back at it, back in the saddle. We'll probably have some more updates to share. Yeah. Ed's having to reach deep into his back pocket to pull out subjects, but yeah, I could just sit here and yap. I mean, I've done enough yapping. I mean, especially like last week. Last week I basically yapped for an hour while Ed played charades.
Not knowing that my microphone was actually working, but
So okay, all right. So so before we go, this is a really big kick out of this. So like I'm like about to wrap it up. I see Ed on there, and I'm like, oh, there's Ed, and I'm like, I still can't hear you, and he's going through all the deals, like trying to make sure all of his stuff worked, and we get off, and I'm like, oh, my tab was muted. Oh well. Yeah, it is what it is. But hey, until next time, y'all be good. We will see you soon. We love you. And if you haven't, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, or hit the bell so you can tune in and you can chit chat with us. We would love to have a very active chat. I mean, it's been good the last few weeks. This time has been a little quiet, probably because it's a Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon, the sports ball people are all watching NFL, and the non sports ball people, they're using Sunday to recover from a long week. So, well, cool. All right, we'll let you go, and we will see all of y'all very, very soon.
Have a wonderful week. Bye.
Yeah, David, bye.